This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the CEO and Chairman of ALX Uranium, Mr. Warren Stanyer. Warren, how are you this afternoon?
Couldn't be better, Gerardo. It's a beautiful day here in Vancouver, so it's paradise.
Good. I heard it was raining this morning. Did it stop raining?
Oh, yeah, I guess it was very early, but no, it's a beautiful day. How are things in Texas?
Good. Sunny Austin, Texas is 78 degrees outside and sunshine, so no complaints on this end. Also, right now, no complaints on yours. You just signed the Close Lake option agreement with Orano Canada. I know that's a big deal given the market cap of your company and given how robust the agreement is. Can we talk about that a bit before I get your overall sentiments about the uranium space?
Absolutely. Fire away.
Close Lake, tell me about the deal. Tell me the details and what it means for the company and what it looks like moving forward.
Well, so this is an incredible property that nobody knew about for many, many years. I mean, I'd heard about it 15 years ago for the first time. It was known as Tucker Lake, which was one part of the Close Lake property, where they'd had a really nice hit back in 1985. A lot of people felt that, this is just a one-hole wonder and these kinds of things that, meanwhile, it's near Cigar Lake and it's near McArthur River. The philosophies of the time didn't allow for what we know now, that the footprint of uranium deposits can be much smaller than we're actually felt that you needed 1 to 2 kilometers of strike length in the past. Well, Millennium, 100 million pounds on the trend of McArthur River has a footprint of 100 meters. So these are the things that we've learned in the last 25 years and now have become very apparent.
And this project is located in the eastern Athabasca Basin. Is that correct? A high-grade project?
That's right. And it's a few kilometers from Cigar Lake, which is one of the richest deposits in the world, currently still in mining, and McArthur River, which is, you almost have to suck in your breath when you think about McArthur River. Over 600 million pounds of uranium. When it first was found, it was about 150. They did underground drilling and it got over 200 million. As they kept mining and working, they got to 300, 400. They've mined over 300 million pounds, as far as I know, at an average grade of somewhere between 15 and 20%. So the grade is dropping somewhat now as they go into the second 300 million pounds, but I believe it's around 10% or maybe a little less. But it's just been an amazing deposit. So we're just 3 kilometers, the southern boundary is 3 kilometers from the McArthur River property.
And so this deal will allow ALX to earn up to 51% in the Close Lake uranium project. Is that accurate?
That is. This is a big opportunity. Normally, Orano, formerly Areva Resources of Paris, France, or Areva Resources is the Canadian name for the exploration arm. But Areva is a huge company. They're fully integrated nuclear company. They mine uranium. They build reactors. They build power lines. It's just a huge, amazing international concern that's been operating in Canada for the past 50 years under different names. So they've changed that name again to Orano, O-R-A-N-O. For them to give up a majority interest is rare. For example, UX Shea Creek was only able to earn slightly over 49% of that deposit. So we have this opportunity. And yes, they have back-in rights that they can exercise, but this is the first time that I know of where they've allowed a potential majority interest to a junior company like ours.
I imagine that ALX will work closely with the team at Orano.
Absolutely, we will. I've known the exploration department there for 15 years. Always had a great relationship with them, going back to the beginning of the Shea Creek deal when I was with UX Corporation. That's UEX, as some people say. We started that company as U for uranium, X for exploration, so I always refer to it as UX. Anyway, there's a strong connection there, and that's what led to this deal. From late 2017, it took until yesterday before this agreement was completely executed.
Let's talk the uranium space. Obviously, everybody is eager to see what the Trump administration announces. The Section 232 report has been submitted. I believe it was April the 14th, give or take a couple of days. The administration has 90 days from April the 14th to comment and recommend what steps are next. I would love to hear your general thoughts on what that will or won't do for the uranium space, what it will provide in the way of clarity.
Well, I'm not one to style myself as a uranium supply expert, but one thing I do know is that in the U.S., there's been a lot of, shall we say, downsizing of uranium mining. So it's great that the Trump administration is trying to stimulate uranium mining in the U.S., but it's not something that's necessarily going to occur instantly. What are the milling capabilities now compared to what they were, say, 20 years ago? My guess is that, it'll take a while to ramp up. So therefore, where will the uranium come from that they need? I would hope that there's more embargoes placed on or some kind of importation restrictions on uranium from Kazakhstan, for example. There's a place that consistently affects the uranium market negatively by overproduction, producing at lower rates. This was what was happening when I first started in the uranium business. The Soviet Union's uranium was cheaper than anyone else's. They were always undercutting the price. So this is what eventually has led to the detriment of U.S. resources. So as a Canadian, and as a Canadian who knows the legacy that what Canada has provided to the United States, I would like to see that the uranium supply that we've given to the U.S. for not only its nuclear reactors, but for its nuclear weapons that keep it safe, in spite of what some people might think, that is a deterrent. We've contributed uranium to the United States for many, many years, and we hope to keep doing so without restrictions. So I'm looking for some kind of an exemption for Canada, because I don't believe the U.S. will be able to supply itself with what it needs right away.
Interesting. Well, I certainly am eager to hear the recommendations. I know I am far from the only one. I got to congratulate you on inking the deal for ALX, because it truly is. It could be a company maker if you're able to discover with the closer drilling, what looks like to be the potential for a high grade deposit in, frankly, the best part in the world to look for those, right?
Absolutely. And I should say what the deal is. I mean, we have to spend $12 million over 5 years. Yes, we have to issue shares to Orano to become a shareholder of us, which is another part of the deal that is unusual for Orano. That it's not something that's common for them to do, to take shares from a junior company. What I hearken back to is when I was with UX Corporation in 2004, we did the Shea Creek deal, which was for UX to spend $30 million over, I believe it was a 10-year period. But we did it in about 4 years. Because when you start getting the momentum and you make a big discovery like we did in 2005, a year into the deal, then the money comes and the tens of thousands of meters get drilled and you earn your position because people are excited about what you're doing and they're funding it, and your share price hopefully correspondingly rises as you find things, and you maintain your position and earn your interest. So, plus, once we earn into this deal, our partners are Orano, Cameco, and JCU, which is the Japanese uranium company. So there couldn't be a better group of people to be partners with.
Not a bad list of names to be among. Warren, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the update.
My pleasure, Gerardo. Thanks for calling.